Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Natalie. The question we get asked a lot is, how do we afford to go to Disney? Now, I don't take that personally when people ask me that question. It's completely understandable why people would be curious as to how we did manage it, because we do have 5 children and it is a lot of money. It's not a cheap holiday. Over the years, I have always booked on a budget, so I've definitely learned some tips and tricks along the way, which I'm happy to share with everybody now. I have grown to prefer to do it separately. I used to always prefer to do a package because I felt like it was all included, I knew where we stood, always coming out a lot more expensive, whereas booking it separately, I have found the cheapest ways possible to do this. So when I say booking separately, I mean booking your flights individually, booking your hotel individually, and booking your transfers and everything else kind of individually as well. Our flights this time we got with Virgin through Skyscanner. They were such a good price. They were £1,300 for all 7 of us, well, all 6 and an infant. We did pay a little bit towards the infant price. These flights were actually Virgin's Economy Light, which is basically the same as economy, but you don't get a hold bag. Now, I didn't actually realise that at first when I booked it, but it actually has worked out for the best because you pay a significant amount more for your luggage, and for us, even though we're entitled to technically 7 bags, 7 suitcases, we are not going to take 7 suitcases. We physically could not take 7 suitcases, so we're paying for suitcases that we don't need. So you can add a hold luggage to an economy light flight, but it's £45 like per bag. If you are like on your own, it's £45 for the first bag, then it's 60 for the second, then it goes up to like 120 I think it is for the third. But if you're like a family like us, it's £45 per bag, like, so, but they do it per person, so we'd all get 1 bag for £45. So if we were going to have, say, 3, it'd be £45 times 3, and then again on the way back. I'm really sorry that the lighting's like really strange. It keeps kind of going lighter and darker, so I apologise if my face is just like whoa like this all over the video. Actually just going to take 1 suitcase, like 1 large suitcase. I have some really cool packing tips as well, which I'm going to do another video on, so to show how we're going to utilise that space in the suitcase. So the only downside with booking flights separately and not in a package is that you can't pay, you have to pay them up front, like, so you have to pay for all of your flights in one hit. They do, I don't know of any websites that do just flights on deposit schemes where you can pay in bits. So yeah, you do have to save and have the money initially there. Just keep an eye out on there constantly checking it, checking the prices. They did kind of fluctuate and go up and down, so if you do see a really good price and you have the money, then just book it. Don't wait, because it could go up the next day. You know, you might be waiting for it to go down, but it might not go down, it could go up, and yeah, then you're kind of stuck. If you see a good price and you've got the money, just get it booked. Once the flights are booked, you're definitely going to Florida at least. Okay, so we opt to not stay in Disney. As much as I would absolutely love to stay in Disney for the whole holiday, it is so much more expensive than not staying in Disney. If you are on a budget like we are, like, that money adds up. Like, the cheapest way we could find Disney was at a value resort, which, you know, was good a price. It was £2,600 for us all in a family suite in All-Star Music, which is a good price. But we have since found it off-site up International Drive for £1,400, so it's a very big difference in price, and there's actually a lot more included with the hotel that we've actually opted for now, which is even more a bonus. Booking wise for our hotel, I use booking.com. Absolutely love that. I love it so much. It's so handy, especially if you do the free cancellation and the no prepayment options, which we always do. It gives you the option to pay at the property, so you can book your hotel like right now with putting down nothing, and you pay when you get there. It gives us an extra 12 weeks to save. When you book a package holiday, the holiday normally needs to be paid 12 weeks before you fly, so you kind of 3 months before you go, you have to have everything paid off. I do really like doing it that way. I've done it quite a few times. I've done it mainly with Paris, and then I did it on my previous trip in September. I paid at the property, there was no issues. I just went in with my booking confirmation and I paid as I got in. So This is all based on how we like to book holidays, which we like to do it separately. But if you were to look into a package holiday, have a look on like somewhere like TUI. I know Thomas Cook is gone now. We did book through Thomas Cook before, but they do a monthly deposit scheme, which is so handy if you, like me, cannot save, and it just kind of goes straight out if you'll go straight out on a set date. We found that a lot easier when that happened, because it's not there for me to use or to do anything with. It just went straight out when I got paid, which was really handy. Also, you kind of can book your holiday with nothing, pay nothing, and then you just pay your monthly payments. That definitely is a good option. It does work out more expensive than doing it separately. If you're more comfortable doing a package, then that is definitely the route to go down. We definitely found that so much easier for our family doing that. And wanting to spend as little money as possible, definitely go for a value resort. There are 5 value resorts. There is All Star Music, Movies and Sport, and then there's also Pop Century and Art of Animation. Art of Animation is on the higher end of the value resorts. The family suites are really expensive, I think, still, like a family. Then All Star Music family suites are definitely the cheapest option. It's, like I said before, it's coming up at like 2,600 for us all. Those rooms are based on 6 people plus an infant. Once the infant though is over the age of 2, then they're classed as a person in the room, and then you are too much for that room. So at the moment we're okay for it, but once Lila turned 2, we wouldn't be able to fit in that room anymore and would have to get to. So I always like to book a hotel as well that has a free shuttle to Disney. A lot of hotels on International Drive or Lake Buena Vista do not have a free shuttle to Disney. They have a free shuttle to Universal and SeaWorld, but they don't have a Disney one. Or they do have a Disney one and you have to pay per person for it. We made this mistake once. We stayed at the Rosen Inn on International Drive, and it didn't have a free shuttle to Disney, and it was $17 per person. So obviously if you're like us and you have, you know, a big family, or you're traveling with a lot of people, it does work out very expensive for you all. It is a return service, so you will be able to get back, but it is a lot of money. And there is always the option, if you miss any of the buses, that you can get like an Uber or you can get a Lyft. Or if you're staying on International Drive, you can get the buses. They are very cheap, but they are very time consuming. So it depends on how like willing you are to kind of take quite a chunk of your day out by getting buses. It can normally take up to 2 hours to get into Disney. If you get on a Lynx Up Drive, it'll drop you off at SeaWorld, then you need to get on another Lynx to Disney. It is very simple. It's only $2 per person, and you just get a transfer when you get on. So then when you get off, you can just transfer onto another one without paying again. You can get a Lynx pass. A week's pass is around $16, although it was that last time I knew, and that's per person. So children under 6 are free on a Lynx bus. You can only have 3 children per adult though. Any children over that amount, they pay $1. So you can get an Uber from International Drive. They're not that expensive, I don't think. I think it's about $7 maybe, something like that. Really inexpensive. It was definitely very hard for us to get a Uber though, because we obviously needed more seats. So we tried a few times and we just could not get one at all ever. So we just kind of gave up with the whole Uber situation for us. If you're a smaller family, just get into like a normal car. 100% Uber all the way. Timing is definitely a huge factor in the pricing of a holiday. If you have children and they're in school and you do not want to take them out, then you're going to be paying more. It's just the way it is. The holiday companies hike up the prices massively in the school holidays. If you do want to take your children out in a school holiday, my recommendation would be the February half term. It's a week, but that definitely was coming up the cheapest when I was looking at the prices. It was definitely cheaper than the Easter, October and the summer are all just so expensive. Like so expensive. May wasn't as bad. We did go in May and we went a week in the half term and a week not. And it wasn't as high as the Easter and October and the summer. So yeah, either May or February, look at those dates. They are only a week though, so if you wanted a 2-week holiday, you will have to have a week out of school as well. Obviously Easter is 2 weeks, but if you do the full 2 weeks, you're just looking at a really high price. Same as any of the weeks in the summer holidays and in October, even though that's only a week, so high. The prices of the flights we find in October just soar. I'm not too sure why. I'm guessing it's more popular with people because of it's the Halloween season over in Disney. I don't know. I know not everybody wants to take their children out of school, and that's completely understandable. We choose to because that's just our choice. We'd rather pay the fines and that be that than spend an extra £2,000–3,000 on a holiday just because it's in the summer. And it's so hot in the summer, I just wouldn't cope either. So yeah, we're definitely term time holiday people. We always like to go at the end of November, beginning of December. The weather is not so hot that it's just unbearable. We went in May and it was unbearable, the heat. The kids were just cranky and it was stressful. We come home and we were just like, I don't even want to go again. And for me to say that about Disney, that it must have been stressful. If you're looking for the cheapest prices in term time, 100% January, beginning of February, September, or end of November, beginning of December. Prices. Now this is where the money is. Tickets do cost a lot of money and there really isn't very many good deals on them. You know, the best deal like the companies do really is a 14 days for the price of 7. If you're looking for advice on how to get cheap Disney tickets, there's not really much I can give. This is the price of them. They kind of, like, different companies will do different offers. Some will offer free gifts, some will offer them a bit lower, some will offer adult prices for the adult tickets for the price of a child. So just keep an eye out. Highly recommend using a website called Ticket Ranges. That is kind of like Trivago and like Go Compare. It will compare all the ticket companies that sell the tickets, so then you can find out which one's doing the best prices, which one's got offers at the moment, and then you can find the cheapest option for what you're looking for. But there's never going to be like a really significant like price drop. What I can say is really be prepared for the fact that the tickets are going to cost you an arm and a leg. So children under the age of 3 are free in Disney and Universal and SeaWorld. So if you are travelling with young children and they are under that age, don't worry about buying them tickets. They're allowed entry into all the parks free of charge. So we like to use Florida Tix. They are £10 per person deposit when booking, and they are due payment in full 5 weeks before you go. So you do have quite a long time to save up and pay it off. We definitely prefer to do that because for us alone, like, Disney tickets are like over £2,000. It's a lot of money for us to try and save, so definitely kind of breaks up the cost for us, makes it a lot easier, a lot more manageable. So stay on International Drive. 100% if you are trying to save money on food, get a Kids Eat Free card. We absolutely love them. You can use them in a variety of restaurants up on International Drive and at the airport, and dotted around. They work quite like within the area, and there's a full list on the website. I will link it below so you can have a look to see exactly where they work. So if you're looking to save money on food, take snacks. Snacks are definitely my one top tip as a parent, especially in saving money in the parks. If you go to the parks with no food in your bag at all, the kids are going to see snacks everywhere. There is popcorn, ice cream, donuts, everything everywhere, and they're going to constantly be asking you for food. And if you are on a bit of a budget and you don't have the money to spend out, especially with us, we've got like 5 children now, and they're all, like, when we went last time, they all wanted an ice cream and it cost us $35. And we didn't even all have one. I think we bought 4, so we didn't even buy like for everybody. Make matters worse, my child knocked mine over. Well, I say knocked, purposely kicked mine over, and I'm still angry at him for it. I had a Peter Pan float and I didn't even get to eat any of it because he kicked it all over. We like to book hotels that have a free breakfast included. Our hotel this time has a hot breakfast, which we're really excited about. Last waffles, bacon, French toast, all that good stuff. Fill up on that in the morning and then head out for the day, and then you're kind of like, okay, take your snacks with you, then you can have the snacks through the day, and then we like to just have one main meal in the evening. Staying on International Drive or somewhere that's not on site, meals are so much cheaper anyway. You can use your Kids Eat Free cards in certain places, so you're kind of not spending like a massive amount of food if you have the breakfast and you have your snacks. You're kind of just doing like 1 meal a day paying out for, which isn't so bad. Even eating in Disney, if you just do the 1 meal, like, it's really reasonable for the day. It's when you're trying to do like 2-3 meals a day out, especially with a larger group, it's pricey. We use a company called Linear Transport. It costs us $75 each way, and we do need a bigger car though. That is why it's slightly more on the expensive side, because we do need like a bigger car. Same company does do smaller cars as well, so that would be a cheaper fare. Or you could get an Uber from there, which would be a very cheap, much cheaper fare. what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to break down the things I've said about in this video and do like individual videos on each thing where I can talk in a lot more detail about them. If I kind of did it in this video, it'd end up being like 2 hours long if I went into full detail about everything. I think overall it's best to go into booking one of these holidays knowing that it's not going to be like really cheap. Like, you can get deals, but realistically, like, a Florida holiday is not a cheap holiday. If you go into it thinking you're going to be spending £200 and that's just not going to be the case. So go into it knowing that you're going to be spending money. Everything that you are going to be booking and doing, even though it might seem a lot of money, is so worth the money. It's why we go back like every year, because it's so worth it. I think pretty much everyone says that, like, when you're booking the Disney tickets, you're like, whoa, that is a lot of money. But then the minute you see your child's face for the first time, or you experience for the first time seeing like Cinderella's castle, or watching a show, or seeing your favorite characters, like, you just have those moments where you realize that every single penny that you spent on that holiday was worth that one moment. And just expect that in the lead up to your holiday, you know, the last couple of weeks, you're going to be eating beans on toast, but again, so worth it. So if you've liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and please subscribe. I'll be doing a lot more videos like this in regards to Florida and also Disneyland Paris. I also have a Disneyland Paris trip coming up in a couple of months, which I'll be vlogging and giving out a lot of information on taking a toddler there, which I'm very excited for. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!